From censored files to clear evidence, this is Redacted Realms.
How does military service affect South Korean men? If you are a fan of oppas in Korean dramas, you must be familiar with the image of handsome male idols. Even A-list stars had to temporarily leave the stage to fulfill their military service. So have you ever wondered why in Vietnam not everyone can join the military to perform military service, while all South Korean men are required to go through this? Let's find the answer with Redacted Realms. First, what is military service? Simply put, it is the obligation to serve in the military that all male South Korean citizens must fulfill between the ages of 18 and 35, except for cases of physical or mental incapacity. Even in Israel, female citizens also have to perform military service. South Korea is not the only country that requires military service, but it is certainly one of the countries with the strictest system. In some other countries around the world, if not in a state of war and not short of personnel, they apply a voluntary enlistment system. These countries usually do not require compulsory military service for all citizens. Returning to the story about South Korea, why are South Korean men required to perform military service? South Korea is famous for its strict military system. It is also considered one of the countries with the harshest military service regime in the world. In South Korea, participating in military service is one of the most practical ways to show patriotism. And this is also stipulated in the South Korean Constitution. Respecting the military service schedule and serving for about 2 years is a mandatory responsibility and obligation for all healthy male citizens. Going back in time to 1957, South Korea began to enforce compulsory military service. According to South Korean law, men aged 18 and above must register for and will have to undergo a health examination for enlistment when they turn 19. However, the South Korean state does not require immediate enlistment. Citizens can apply for a deferment. However, deferments also have a certain time limit. No matter how long it is deferred, military service must be completed before the age of, whether it's an OPA or an A-list star. For each branch of the South Korean military force, there are different durations of military service. For example, currently, the service period in the Army and Marine Corps is 18 months. The Navy is 20 months, and the Air Force is 22 months. During their service, they must participate in numerous activities, undergo rigorous and arduous training. After completing their service in the military, these soldiers will be placed on the reserve list, and within 6 years after discharge, they will undergo comprehensive training for a few to refresh their combat skills. So why is South Korea so strict? The answer lies in the historical and political context. Currently, South Korea and North Korea are still in a state of armistice and have not officially ended the war. Although the likelihood of a full-scale war is low, South Korea never takes it lightly, always maintaining a high state of alert. Every citizen needs to be prepared for emergency situations. Therefore, the fulfillment of military is considered an expression of patriotism and civic responsibility. Interestingly, if you are a foreigner with dual citizenship, the fulfillment of military service will have some differences. You can choose between keeping Korean citizenship and participating in military service or renouncing Korean citizenship to be exempt from performing the service. However, the second option is not always easy, because love for homeland and national pride often lead many people to decide to enlist. In recent years, due to South Korea facing a birth rate among the group of countries with the lowest birth rates in the world, according to the assessment and forecast of the South Korean military the number of soldiers is estimated to decrease by half compared to the present. This has sparked many debates about whether mandatory military service should be applied to women in South Korea. A frequently asked question is, what if someone evades military service in South Korea? The answer is not pleasant at all. Many who refuse or evade service will be recorded in their criminal records and may face up to 18 months in prison, even while serving a prison sentence. Those who evade service still have to serve the country in other ways, as uniform or a prisoner. Despite being strict and rigorous, there is no shortage of scandals related to military service evasion in South Korea. For example, in 2012, player Park Joo-ho, a quite familiar player, who played for AS Monaco Club and Arsenal, was involved in a scandal when using a Monaco visa to reside for 10 years to delay military service. This player also wore the captain's armband for the national team and played for Arsenal. This made Korean people extremely angry and created a wave of boycotts, or like the artist named Mon, a television star and also a famous hip-hop artist in South Korea. In 2010, he was sentenced to 6 years of suspended prison for evading military service. Previously, he had cited many reasons to evade military service, participating in civil service exams, professional training, or with various reasons. Even this star he cited to extract 12 healthy teeth to be exempt from enlistment, because according to regulations, citizens who lose 9 teeth or more. Next is national singer Psy, famous for the song Gangnam Style. Psy not only got involved in enlistment evasion scandal but also violated military discipline. He had to enlist twice because he appeared on a television program while in service. Therefore, Psy had to serve a total of 4 years in the military. Enlistment in South Korea is so strict, so how do young people in other countries enlist? According to statistics from the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, there are currently 88 countries in the world that do not apply mandatory military service. Military service in these countries is not mandatory. This means that young people in these countries will not be forced to enlist when they come of age. And the military only recruits volunteers to join. In Vietnam, where the military service system is applied, the age for participating in military service is from 18 to 25. In case citizens are undergoing college or university education and are granted a deferment from the enlistment age is extended until the end of 27. In Vietnam, not everyone has to perform military service. Citizens called for enlistment must meet 4 conditions. First, they must have a clear background. Second, strictly comply with the party's guidelines and the state's policies and laws. Third, have sufficient health to serve in the military. And fourth, have an appropriate educational level. The term of active service in peacetime for non-commissioned officers and soldiers is 24 months. If females within the above age range voluntarily perform military service, they are also allowed to serve in the military provided they meet the above requirements. So what about China? Currently, enlistment is a mandatory obligation for all Chinese people, regardless of gender. Must participate in a 20-day military training course as part of the education system. Not to be outdone by South Korea, North Korea also applies a military service system with the longest service term in the world, where all men and some women must enlist with a service period of 3 to 5 years. And this period can be extended up to 10 years depending on the situation. North Korea considers enlistment the highest duty of every citizen. To build a strong military force to protect the country. S army is also regarded as the nation. And major construction projects in North Korea are often undertaken by S what we. As well as the military service laws in some other countries around the world. Hopefully, this video has helped you better understand this interesting and sometimes controversial topic. If you have any thoughts on this topic, feel free to leave a comment below to discuss together. Don't forget to subscribe to the Redacted Realms channel, turn on the notification bell, and share if you found this. Thank you for watching and supporting Redacted Realms. See you in the next videos.
If this file opened your eyes, subscribe and open the next case.